A lot of the content that's part of the Los Santos drug wars is going to be dripped out into 2023 via the Los Santos drug wars dripocalypse, as I'm calling it. And we're going to go over, I guess, almost everything we know that's coming down the road, including stuff that Rockstar has mentioned, as well as things discovered by data miners and Tez. So here's what Rockstar says in the newswire near the bottom for the official release day of Los Santos Drug Wars. So we're going to be getting new vehicles, obviously, world events, gameplay updates. We have festive encounters, collectibles starting next week. And sometime next year, we're going to have the downtown cab company taxi jobs. We're also going to have a gun van offering exclusive items, street dealers looking to pay premiums for your product, a brand new garage with the most vehicle storage yet, and also the last dose is going to be kicking in when you least expect it. My theory is we're going to get last dose, which is the part 2 to Los Santos Drug Wars, sometime in the spring. Maybe March, maybe April 2023. I don't know if they're going to wait till the summer to put out part 2, even though it's technically part of the game. In fact, somebody discovered the unfinished cutscenes, so that's out there on the internet if you wish to go watch it yourself. Be warned, there are spoilers, of course, when it comes to the part 2 last dose cutscenes for Drug Wars. Now let's venture over to Tez's Twitter page, where he's compiled a lot of this stuff for us to go over together. I guess we'll start off with the vehicles, since it's at the top of his feed. You got quite a few vehicles that are going to be dripped out over the past several months, including some legendaries like this new motorcycle, the Western Parasurge, for $1.6 million. The Broadway, which is the same car that we saw in the photo in an article about a week ago prior to the release of Los Santos Drug Wars. It has a taxi cab skin that I guess you can get. The price tag for the Broadway, $925,000. There's also a brand new brand in the game, Tundra. And this is, I guess it's going to be a new sports car. It looks like a sports car, the Tundra Panther, for $2.1 million. And then the Ocelot Virtue, which could very well be the last vehicle we get part of the Dripocalypse 2023. It's going to have a price tag, and it's going to be linked to Last Dose. So the Last Dose, which is the part 2 of this story of the Los Santos Drug Wars, whenever that releases, I'm guessing that they're also going to release the Ocelot Virtue, or sometime after they put out the Last Dose part of the drug war, and that's where you'll be able to complete Last Dose in order to get the discounted trade price. So the prices for the Virtue, obviously $2.2 million for trade price, and full price is just under $3 million. Now here are the vehicles that are going to be dripping out via Southern San Andreas, and they may mix these back and forth over the Dripocalypse. By the way, Bruffy did do a pretty good video showing off these vehicles over on his channel. So we got the Icy Rally, that's going to be $1.8 million, along with the Karen Hot Ring Everon. So this is like a NASCAR truck. So I guess they're going to have a week where they bring back the Southern San Andreas Hot Ring races. And there's 2 prices for that. The Hot Ring trade price, top 3 in 20 San Andreas Super Race Series. Okay, so that's how you can get that trade price. Its trade price is $1.3 million, all the way up to $1.7 million for the Hot Ring Everon. The Eudora is $1.2 million, and the Karen Bohr is going to be $1.2 million as well. Now we'll talk about the taxi missions. So you will have to purchase the taxi, which is a Pegasus vehicle. It's not available at Warstock yet, but when the time comes, when they do release the taxi jobs where you'll be able to do fares or money, and you'll obviously need your very own taxi. Unfortunately, it's a Pegasus vehicle. It'll have a trade price as well as a full price, $487,000 to $650,000. And you can also unlock it if you're tier 25 or higher in the Arena War. So I guess that's some motivation for you to go back in the Arena War and rank up to at least 25 AP. in order to have this taxi unlocked. And they're also going to make the Brickade 6x6 purchasable for $1.4 million. I don't really see the point in this because you could just complete the first dose of the Los Santos Drug War story in order to acquire the Brickade, and it's a $750,000 acid lab upgrade once you do the parts with the warehouse and go pick up the supplies from the warehouse. So I really don't see any logic in purchasing the Brickade 6x6. It's a fun vehicle. You can fully armor it. It can take like over 40 rockets before it blows up. So it's pretty tough. It's pretty fast once you fully upgrade it. And you put a ramp on it, a scoop. It's just like the Phantom Wedge. You can just send cars flying out of your way going up the GOH. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the 50-car garage that's eventually going to be dripped out sometime in 2023, or maybe sooner. Maybe they'll drip it out throughout the holiday season. We still have a few weeks left of 2022. I don't understand why they didn't put this out day one along with the launch of the update itself. But we are getting a 50-car garage, which is going to be at the Eclipse Boulevard Garage. It's its own unique building. So you may have seen this building. You may have driven by it. It's right here. I think this is the Eclipse Towers. So it's not too far from the Eclipse Towers. It's only one building, so it won't be multiple buildings. You can only get this 50-car garage from one specific building, the Eclipse Boulevard Garage, for $2.7 million. And there is going to be 5 levels. Each level will have 10 car slots, similar to the high-end garages. That's basically what they're doing. They're just copy-pasting the high-end garages by 5 levels. But there is some customization, at least color-wise. You will be able to pick out, I guess, different lighting, immaculate, industrial, indulgent, and there's going to be up to 12 different colors for you to choose from when it comes to the look of the interior of your garage. So here's one of the looks, which is, it's not bad. So there's some customization you'll be able to do with these garages. As the Magic asked Taz, do you get to pick different decor on each level, like in the office garages? So Taz responded by showing off different colors. I guess that implies that you will be able to change the colors of each level, because you got B4 along with B3, B2, B1, and then there should be a B5, because that would be 5 levels. So yeah, I guess each level you'll be able to change the color of your garage, so you'll have a variety of colors to choose from for each floor. And according to Tez, once again, that garage is supposed to be coming out early next year, 2023. It is still questioning why they chose to wait to release that property for the Dripocalypse instead of putting it out on day one, along with what we got for day one, launch day of the Los Santos Drug Wars Part 1, and a few vehicles as well. It would have been nice if we also had additional hangar space or the ability to purchase a second hangar for aircraft. Hell, it would have been nice to have gotten a new airplane or a new helicopter, but all we got were cars. I mean, I get it, the game is called GTA, Grand Theft Auto, but for the pilots, it would have been nice if Rockstar would have taken them into consideration and given them at least extra storage space, maybe double the storage space at the hangars, and or give us the ability to buy a second hangar. But instead, we're getting a 50-car garage for $2.7 million. If you bought like every single property that you could buy in the game, you would already have at least 400 vehicle slots. That's excluding the hangar. And the truth is, I'm not really excited about most of the drip-fed vehicles. I think the Ocelot Virtue is going to be an agency vehicle, which would be very fascinating to have armor on that, as well as the Amani Tech missile jammer. I wonder how well it's going to perform as a supercar. Either way, it might be one of the best agency vehicles that we end up having in the game whenever it comes out in a few months from now, either before or after Part 2, the last dose releases for the Los Santos Drug Wars. So we don't really have an idea of exactly when everything drops, but if we go by Criminal Enterprises, we know that Rockstar is going to try and stretch this out for as long as possible. whether or not they only stretch it out to, say, March or April, or perhaps all the way to summer or prior to the summer update, remains to be seen. I accept that drip feeding content for GTA is essential for keeping people interested in the game going forward, but it does feel like the drip feeding is getting stretched out a little too thin, especially with the previous update in the summertime, Criminal Enterprises, and how long it took them to finally get out all the vehicles that they had locked and dripped from the summer all the way to November 2022. So who knows how long it's going to take for them to drip out all this locked content from the Los Santos Drug Wars. And by the way, I am planning a review coming up on Friday. Early access for members, and about 2 hours later, I'll put it out for everybody else. Once again, my review, pros, cons, verdict for Drug Wars, coming on Friday. So when it comes to the drip feed content, what exactly are you looking forward to? Whether it's the vehicles, the taxi jobs, the Part 2 Last Dose missions for Drug Wars, the 50-car garage that's coming for $2.7 million. What are you looking forward to? What do you not really care for? And do you think that the drip is going to be just right and, even Steven for the next several months going into the spring, perhaps even the summer of 2023? Or is Rockstar just stretching this content out a little too thin, just like too little butter spread across too much bread? Your thoughts, views, and opinions, as always, welcome below in the comments section.